Hello, and we join you here today from the IMF meeting in Bali. I'm here with Benjamin Diokno, who is Budget Secretary of Philippines. Thank you very much for joining us today.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. To begin with, I just wanted to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
So the House prevented the cash budget from passing earlier this year. I just wanted to ask you, how is that progressing?
Oh, that issue has been resolved. So we're moving forward. In fact, the House of Representatives, before I left, just approved the budget on a cash basis.
Excellent.
And the Senate has also embraced the concept. Okay.
So you have been outspoken in the past around tax reforms in order to finance infrastructure projects. I just wanted to ask around how is that progressing and also what projects has been financed so far?
Well, the tax reform is not only justified on the basis of financing our infrastructure, although that's a big part of it, but also it's a structural reform. We have not had any tax reform since 20 years ago, and we have to keep up with our ASEAN neighbors. So we are adjusting the personal income tax rate, lowering it to be comparable with the rest of Asia. And the second phase, of course, which is now still pending, is the lowering of the corporate income tax. Okay? So the first one has been approved, and it has contributed significantly to our overall, what we call fiscal space. So it's funding a lot of our infrastructure projects as a result. Okay.
Are there any projects in particular which have been funded?
Oh, there are many projects all over the country. So the big ones are going to be funded by official development assistance from China and Japan and South Korea. But these are some highways or bridges, etc., in all over the country. The idea there is to interconnect the 7,100 islands of the Philippines. Okay?
And thirdly, there are the predictions of the 7 to 8% growth GDP this year have been revised. So what are you seeing now to boost this, and what are the moves for the next year?
The Development Budget Coordination Committee, which consists of the Secretary of Finance, myself, and the Secretary of Planning, will meet on October 16 to revisit our forecast. Admittedly, it's going to be very difficult to meet even the lower end of our 7 to 8% growth rate, because the first half growth rate was 6.3. So we'll revisit the numbers. And because unfortunately, we did not anticipate that inflation will be this high as a result of many factors, including the oil price increase globally. And so we'll revisit them. At the moment, we're looking at maybe between 6.5 to 6.9%.
I know there was issues around agricultural output as well.
We anticipated agriculture to grow we targeted agriculture to grow between 3 to 3.5%. Unfortunately, it grew by only 0.5%, one half of 1%. So among the three sectors, agriculture, industry, and services, agriculture is the laggard. So we have to revisit that. And fortunately, the President has signed an administrative order removing all non-tariff barriers on all forms of imports of food products. So that will solve it. And there's now a pending bill in Congress converting the quantitative restriction on rice into a tariff or rice tariffication bill. We expect that to be approved also this year. So that will help ease the pressure on inflation.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you very much for meeting with us today.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.